Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel is Finding Value, and today we're going to look at gold and silver technical analysis. Let's just jump right in. Let's jump right in, see what I got. Give you a quick update here. We've got the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield. We have broken this uptrend to the downside. It's coming on back. The majority of commodities are very similar to what this looks like. So a lot of the commodity sectors are pulling back. We've got the dollar. The dollar's pulled up since end of May all the way in June till even now. We're right at this resistance line, downtrend line. We'll see if it breaks through. If it breaks through, we're going to have a short-term pressure on commodities to head lower with an increasing dollar. Now, GDX is pulling. I think that's going to come on and pull back here. We have a bearish engulfing. It was a good reversal day for the bears, not for the bulls. And I think we might pull back a little bit more here and maybe come to 32-ish or something on the lines of that. GDX, we are getting close to its trend line here. It's still holding, but I want to see if this breaks to the downside. We could see a move lower here. Substantial move lower, possibly. Here's GDXJ. We've got the zoomed in on it. We do have a bearish engulfing here. We'll see what the buyers and sellers do tomorrow and how those interactions work out. I don't want to see a big sell-off tomorrow. GDXJ, looking at it from a big picture view, we've got the trend line here. It's right there playing with it. It looks like it wants to break to the downside, and we could come all the way back down here. That's a possibility. So we'll see what happens. SILJ, we've got the trend line. It's still acting as support. It's still hanging out. We zoom in on it, and we do have a bearish engulfing, which is usually downward pressure. So we'll see if this trend line holds. Endeavor Silver, we've got this kind of increasing wedge pattern that looks like it's going on. If we break to the downside and it's a clear break, we could have a substantial move lower here. If you guys are in it for the long term, not a big deal. If you guys are in it for the short term, if we break down, I'd say 550, that's a clear break. I'd say even 575, 580. If it breaks to the downside, we're probably going to see further downside. So now would be the time to take profits or let your profits ride or do whatever you want if we see that move lower. First Majestic Silver. This is what it looks like on the big long term. I'm going to zoom in on here. We do have a little bit of a bearish formation. I'm just looking for buyers to step in here. We do have support right underneath this at $15. We'll see if that holds. McEwen Mining, it is also throwing in a bearish engulfing. We're getting all these bearish engulfings everywhere. Discovery Silver's got one too. Looking at it from a large term perspective, we did break to the downside. We're kind of doing a back test. This could go a lot lower, substantially lower, if we head lower here. There's a pattern there. If the dollar goes up and we lose that tailwind, I think there's a possibility that some of these go down quite a bit. So if you're going to exit it, I would probably be doing it now to reduce or lighten up your position if you're going to do it. I'm not, but I'm also position sized correctly. If you guys are overweighting some of this stuff, that's up to you. Here's Yamana Gold. Again, it's putting in these bearish engulfings. I think we're going to head lower based off of the way this thing reads. There's no buyers over here. Just a bunch of sellers. And here's Wheaton Precious Metals. It's also putting in a bearish engulfing. It's across the board. So, and this one's got a lot more support down here. This one's in an uptrend. Wheaton Precious Metals looks pretty good. But some of these companies, when I look at the charts, they do not look good. They have bearish engulfing patterns on the short term. Now we're looking at, I'm looking at these breaking to the downside. I'm going to see if these support lines hold. If they don't hold, we could see some further downside moves, which some of these could be substantial pullbacks. So we'll see what happens. I'll continue to do the charting update, but it could come down quite a bit on us if it breaks these big patterns to the downside. So this is on the medium term. The big long-term picture looks pretty good. The short term looks bearish. Medium term could turn bearish depending on the next week or two of trading that happens. Let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comment section. Give me a thumbs up for the content, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.